By the end of this video, you'll know over 1,000 Spanish words with only one rule and no memorization. If you don't know me, my name is Hamid, I'm 16 and I help people get fluent in Spanish quickly. You know, this is actually how I started learning Spanish. You see, I tried all the different apps, Duolingo, Pimsleur, Babbel, Memrise. I never saw any tangible progress with any of them. And also none of them really made sort of any logical sense to why they would get me fluent. It's just sort of natural path that most people are pointed towards for a seemingly arbitrary reason. Probably just marketing in my opinion. But that was until I discovered an app called Language Transfer, which completely changed everything for me because it taught this exactly what I'm going to go through in this video. And the one that he gave, which is what I'm going to give in this video, is that words that end in tion or ation, you could say, and then cion in Spanish, with a Spanish accent. And so all you have to know is the vowels. The vowels in English are A, E, I, O, U. In Spanish, those become A, E, I, O, U. And so now I sort of call this idea of learning, grammar with leverage, the 3 W's. And those are what the words are, where they go in the sentence, but then the why, the rule that creates them, okay? And so that is what we're trying to learn here. For the language nerds, they all know it as cognates, right? But no need to know the technical name for it, right? And the thing that makes it so advantageous is because when you understand sort of what creates sentences, what rule, what sort of concept creates it, you can repeat that for several sentences, for an basically infinite amount of sentences. And that's what fluency really is, isn't it? Generating new sentences in order to express your own thoughts, right? You need logic for that. And so the logic comes from the why, the rule, the blueprint. And the reason why this thing even exists, like cognates exist, is because of a shared roots between Latin and English and Spanish. So English is a Germanic language, but it has a lot of Latin roots, and Spanish is a Latin language. But because English has so many roots in Latin, there are lots of cognates, meaning words that share characteristics. So this is the rule. Tion becomes cion. So nation becomes nación. Education will become educación, conversation becomes conversación, etc. The only difference, again, is just we're pronouncing it with Spanish vowels mainly, and then obviously some consonants are pronounced differently in Spanish, right? But accent aside, this works, okay? And one helpful tip to really get this rule down is to understand that Spanish words are pronounced exactly as written. And so you just gotta sound them out. Certain words, if you think of a word like, and this is another cognate rule that I'll probably explain later, a word like convenient, in English we pronounce it kind of weird, no? When you look at how it's spelt and then try to say it in Spanish, it sounds different. For example, in Spanish it would be conveniente. In English we might not pronounce each individual vowel, but in Spanish you do. And if you're just starting out, I'd highly recommend checking out the Speedy Spanish Roadmap. It's a free course I created to help you start learning Spanish with these methods. And you'll find it in the first link in the description. What we're going to do is I'm going to go through 15 English words, and once you see it on screen, I want you to pause, guess yourself using this rule, and then we'll have the reveal, okay? For example, for this one, action. So now you pause, and then you see that it's acción, okay? So, next one being attention, atención, direction, dirección, solution, solución, function, función, position, posición, tradition, tradición, operation, operación, decoration, decoración, presentation, presentación, generation, generación. G's are pronounced like a ch sometimes. Concentration, concentración, investigation, investigación, contemplation, contemplación, imagination, imaginación. So, 15 words. Notice how there's no memorization there. You did not memorize a single one of those words, did you? But you knew them. I assume you got all those right, basically, right? Why? Because you understood the why, the rule behind that, okay? The reason why this changed it for me is because this is how I approach grammar. This is what got me to approach grammar through the sort of perspective of understanding the logic and the why. I just realized how much leverage there is in this, right? You learned one rule and now you have hundreds, thousands of words. And so it's actually 1,000 or more. I actually used to say that it was around 200, but after doing some research, it's only about 200 conversational words. In total, it's actually a lot more with just this one rule, which boggles my mind. So yeah, 200 conversationally useful words, but thousands total. And so you just got 15 of them. And that was just one rule. And there are dozens of these rules. So like that, to me, that excites me. Like when I think of something like that, I wish I could go back to sort of not knowing about these rules and this sort of leverage, just to experience it again. So you might be thinking like, okay, cool, I just learned 15 words, but let me actually give you a few more. So words that end in T, like TY, become dad, okay? And usually it's an ity, right? So university, universidad. Reality, realidad. Possibility, posibilidad. And so that gives you hundreds of other words. Li words, so words that end in li, become mente. So rapidly become rapidamente. That could also mean quickly. Exactly would be exactamente. Normally would be normalmente, etc. Another one, words that end in ous, like us, like in famous, become oso or osa if it's feminine. So famous becomes famoso, generous becomes generoso, etc. Words that end in ble are sometimes the same, but sometimes it can be able or ible, depending on the English word. So posible, possible, terrible, terrible. Horrible would be horrible. H is silent there. Words that end in IC, like ick, will become usually ico, though we pronounce it in a specific way. For example, magic would be mágico, romantic would be romantico, historic would be histórico, etc. And so like the reason for this is simply just that Spanish isn't necessarily a foreign language, it's more so a sibling language because of its Latin roots. But here's where it gets interesting. The rule we just learned works about 90% of the time, but the other 10% get you kind of embarrassed sometimes. And this is just to show that obviously there are some exceptions, okay? So for example, a common one is embarazada. People think it means embarrassed, which isn't illogical, but it's not factual, meaning it's not true. So embarazada actually means pregnant. So if you made that mistake, that could really mess up, the meaning of what you're trying to get off. Constipado doesn't mean constipated, but rather having a cold. Actualmente sounds like it means actually, but it means currently. And that's the mente rule that we mentioned. Going back to the 3 W's, right? The way I want you to study grammar, if you're watching my channel, you want to learn from my methods, is, you learn you learn what the words are, you learn where they're placed. But the main lever is learning the why, the rule that generates or creates the sentences. Like the sort of steps before the words appear. That might sound complicated. What I mean by that is simply, in English, right? When you think of a sentence that you want to say, there's fundamental logic there. You know that certain words have to come in a certain order and whatever, okay? We want to essentially take that and learn the logic of the Spanish speaker. And that comes from asking the question why, and asking basically, what is the rule? What is the system with the blueprint here? And so in school, we memorize like a table, and you just memorize these words, okay? But the 3W sort of way, right? The rule way is that instead of learning each individual one, you learn the rule behind each one. Because that doesn't just give you each one. It gives you every other example of it. For example, for adverbs, that you drop ar and then add the person ending, whatever it might be, right? And so it's a bit of memorization. It's 8 rules of memorization in exchange for thousands of words. To me, that sounds worth it. And like we showed with with these cognates, it is definitely worth it. If you just know that rule, you can get all these other variations with any adverb if it's regular. I say this to show that memorization fades away. It doesn't last, but rules last. One rule will give you every word in the pattern, meaning you don't even need to know the word. Okay, I don't need to know. Like if you just tell me that a verb is a regular adverb, I can recite to you the entire table. Not because I'm some genius or anything. I'm not, because I've learned all the rules for them. And so it's like, yes, you do have to learn a few rules, right? But if it enables you infinite variations and infinite words, why not take that deal? To me, that's worth it. And so if you forget a form, the way I like to approach it is to derive it, which is a complicated word. It just means like uproot it. Like look at the rules behind how we got there. If you think about presento, meaning I present or I'm presenting, you can actually uproot the logic there. You can think, okay, presento, it could be an adverb or an arid verb. I'm going to assume it's an adverb. Presentar, that makes sense. Oh, and presentar actually could come from presentación. And there's a rule where if you take off the acción from acción words and put ar, you get the verb. Okay, and then where I get presentación from? Well, I got presentación from the English word presentation. And so you can go from the English word presentation to the Spanish word for I'm presenting with just a few rules. And that line is Presentation becomes presentación. Presentación becomes presentar. Presentar becomes presento. Do you see like the encoding? I don't know, they call it some sort of like line of logic, or in Swedish we call it like a red thread, which is like the line of logic, right? That line of logic, it is acquired through understanding the why. And that's why I sort of teach it this way. And so don't memorize, but find the pattern. That's all I'll give you, okay? This video is just an example of that. So yeah, if you're interested in learning Spanish like this and you want my help, then you can check the second link in the description. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed and stay humble.